college is located on the beautiful homeland is the traditional territory of Ojibwe, Potawatomi, and Ottawa First Nations. These three individual nations make up the traditional Three Fires Confederacy. We acknowledge the grace and the welcome they have offered to all students, staff, and guests at Lambton College. Could you please stand if you're able for the playing of our national anthem? We'll be introducing our visitors. They were 12 and 8, fourth in the East, the Georgian Grizzlies, and here is tonight's starting lineup. In his fifth year from Newmarket at guard, number 5, Nick Williams McIntosh. Also in his fifth year from Whitby, 6'4" forward, number 6, Tyler Benson. At forward from Mississauga in his second year, number 9, Sammy Ozema. At guard in his first year from Brampton, number 10, Malcolm Ladell. And in his second year guard from Brampton, 5'11", number 11, Damian Wilson. Matt Colson, the head coach. In his 9th year for Georgian. And now your home team, they were 15 and 5. They are your West Division champions. And here are their starters. A third-year guard from Rexdale, number 3, Fauzi Mohammed. Also in guard from Brampton in his third year, number 6, Jordan Francis. From North York, Ontario in his fourth year, 6'1" guard, number 7, Yaquan Cascais. At forward from North York, 6'5" in his fourth year, number 9, Cy Samuels. And a fifth-year senior from Brampton at forward, 6'5", number 13, Jalen Morgan. Head coach in his sixth year, Samson Downey. Tip-off is next.
Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another exciting edition of OCAA men's basketball. It is the quarterfinals of the OCAA championships here, hosted at the Athletics and Fitness Complex at Lambton College. Good afternoon, I'm Tony Francis as we bring you the first of 4 quarterfinal matchups today. It is the Georgian Grizzlies coming in with a 12-8 record, good enough for 4th in the OCAA East. They are taking on the West Division champion, 15-5 Humber Hawks, and they are in for a tough matchup here. We're looking forward to an exciting one. The Georgian Grizzlies come into this one being able to get their opposing team to turn over the ball a ton. They have about 4 or 5 different players on their roster who are on the brink of 2 steals per game, averaging it, of course, the Humber Hawks. An extremely tough opponent for anybody who takes the court against them. They are the West Division champions, 15-5. And it's been a tale of two seasons for the Humber Hawks, really. Started the season 0-4 and then went on to win 13 consecutive games before they came to Lambton on Family Day weekend and lost the buzzer beater thriller to the Lambton Lions 84-82. Finishing the season winning 15 out of 16 games, the Humber Hawks, and that's how they were able to win the West Division. We are underway. Fauzi Mohammed right out of the gate with the tray. Mohammed coming into this one wearing number 3 for the Humber Hawks. 13 points per game, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and he'll get you about 2 steals per game as well. Humber going from right to left on your screen. They're wearing the white jerseys. The Georgian Grizzlies going from left to right, and they are wearing the blue jerseys. There's the feed down low to a streaking Jordan Francis. And it is a quick 5-point lead for the favored Humber Hawks in this competition. The Georgian Grizzlies coming into this one trying to pull off the upset. But of course the Humber Hawks, as the turnover occurs in the paint there, outlet pass. Can't finish it is number 7, Daquan Cathcart. The Humber Hawks with a tradition of winning. They have medaled in 10 of the last 11 seasons, and their winning ways go all the way back into the early 90s. This is a team that won 6 or 7 consecutive titles in the 90s. Just that ridiculously good generation of Humber players. And then, of course, in the early 2000s, winning another 3 straight. Humber's here to win, no doubt about it. And they are proving it early, up 7-0 here in the first minute 45. Down low is number 9, Samuel Odzenma, to get the Grizzlies on the board. Odzenma, one of those highlighted players for Georgian, coming in with 13 points per game during the regular season. That goes along with 8 boards and 1.5 steals. As it's a quick 6 points there for Fauzi Mohammed. And Humber very quick to reach double digits here. Step back jumper is off the mark from Williams McIntosh. Setting up at the line is going to be Jalen Morgan. That'll be after a brief timeout here. Jalen Morgan will set up at the line once we get back to it here. Last night, anointed first-team All-Star honors for the West Division. And Jalen Morgan, definitely a key player for the Humber Hawks here. 19 points per game during the regular season. Goes along with 7 rebounds as well. In his final year with the Humber Hawks, it is his 5th year of OCAA eligibility, the 6'5" forward out of Brampton, Ontario. As every game in this tournament could be his last, but of course he wants to make it to Championship Sunday with the Humber Hawks, and are well on their way to doing so early on in this one. Of course, still a lot of basketball to be played, and the Georgian Grizzlies will look to correct things quickly here. A 10-2 deficit they face at the hands of the Humber Hawks here, barely 3 minutes into this game. The first of 4 quarterfinals you are watching here. Coming up at 3 o'clock this afternoon, the St. Clair Saints will take on the Seneca Sting. The Redeemer Royals face the Sheridan Bruins at 6, and the host Lambton Lions will take on the Beast from the East, the George Brown Huskies, at 8 o'clock tonight right here at the Athletics and Fitness Complex here at Lambton College. And we thank you for joining us this afternoon here at OCAA.com and on your TV, as the first free throw from Jalen Morgan is good. The first team OCAA All-Star getting on the board, and he will go 2 for 2 from the line. Back at it now, the Georgian Grizzlies trying to get something going offensively here as they work it around the horn. Damian Wilson gets it opening in the lane, and he will go in for 2. Wilson and Cathcart exchanging quite a few words here, and looks like this is going to get heated quickly. Slipping was Jordan Francis. He gets it back out to Jalen Morgan. Shot clock down to 5. That's a foul on Odzenma. That'll give Humber a fresh 14 on the shot clock here. A chance to reset. Samuels will hand it back to Morgan. To Francis. Francis' lane is closed. Samuels will try and back his way in. He works it around. Can't finish though, and back come the Grizzlies. And a misstep there almost resulted in a turnover. Grizzlies able to maintain possession, and from long range, that is Odzenma off the mark. Mohammed tries to float it to Francis. Pass goes behind him as it's tipped. It will remain Humber ball. As Keith Laria and Kevin O'Toole are going to enter the game for Humber. Grizzlies electing to go with their original starting 5 here as Jalen Morgan drives off the glass. No doubt about it for Jalen Morgan. And the lead now up to 10 for the Humber Hawks. 14-4, they lead the Georgian Grizzlies here at the OCAA Basketball Championship quarterfinal matchup. Van Essen has it now. Tyler Van Essen almost loses it. Shot clock down to 2. Leans into one from long range. It's off. And Humber will look to extend the lead here, and driving coast to coast is Kevin O'Toole. Damian Wilson has it now for Georgian. Hands it off to Van Essen. Tyler Van Essen, the first team All-Star in the East Division this year. And fouled on the way up is Samuel Odzenma, and he will shoot 2. Jacob Edwards will enter the game for the Grizzlies. Alex Petronis and McQuell Martin enter the game for the Humber Hawks. As Odzenma shoots 2. First one is good. .6'3" forward out of Mississauga in his second year with the team. 13 points per game, 8 rebounds, but 1.5 steals on the year as well. And McQuell Martin making a quick adjustment to his footwear, and we can get back at it. As the free throw from Odzenma is good, goes 2 for 2. Try and help get the Grizzlies back into this one. They are going to lean heavily on Odzenma. Hand off to O'Toole. He will drive. Floater's off the mark. He's able to corral the loose ball, though. No foul call as he tried to get it back up, and here come the Grizzlies again. Bit of a mishandle. Refs are going to deliberate as to which way it's going, and they are going to say it is Humber ball, much to the chagrin of the Georgian Grizzlies. And a little bit of deliberation here between the officials and a couple of players, and we get back at it here. O'Toole will inbound it, gets it to Alex Petronis, back to O'Toole. Hand off now to McQuell Martin. Martin loses possession, and here come the Grizzlies trying to ignite the offense here a little bit. Have been held to just 6 points here in the opening quarter. About halfway through it now. Trying to set the screen for Odzenma. Shot clock is down to 5 as the floater is good for Williams McIntosh. McIntosh doing it from short range there, but good from long range as well. About 39% from 3 on the season for him. Kevin O'Toole has it now. Keith Laria will look to drive. They say it was a clean dispossession, no foul call. There's a foul there, though. If you're going to say Ishmael reached in, it is Grizzlies' ball. Jacob Edwards trying to work his way around the long reach of Keith Laria. Can't do it. And here we go, uncontested. It is Laria with the two-handed slam. An immediate outlet pass to Odzenma. Odzenma goes off the glass and retaliates. Petronas now for Humber. Looking for an option. He gets it over to Laria. Laria leans in. Leaned into a pair of players, and they're going to say the call is on Tyler Van Essen. That's Georgian's third team foul, as former Lambton Lion Keith Laria is going to shoot a pair. First free throw is good. Impressive season for Laria as he goes 2 for 2 from the line, 10 points per game, 5 boards, about 1.2 steals per game. As another former Lambton Lion, Dwayne Lambert-Cador, number 24, will check in for Humber. As the Grizzlies look to regroup here, currently down by 10. 20-10. Humber Hawks lead the Georgian Grizzlies here. 3:43 to go in the opening quarter. Still plenty of basketball to be played. Williams McIntosh from long range is off the mark. Pass is nearly picked off in the corner, though. Faking is Dwayne Lambert-Cador. Can't finish off the glass, though. And back come the Grizzlies. Williams McIntosh. Step back, good for 2. Kevin O2 has it now. Tells Ishmael to get into the paint, set the screen. Petronas backs his way into the paint, gets the elbow up. It's off the mark. Ishmael was thinking 3. Instead, there is Lambert-Cador from the corner. No good. It is pulled down by Williams McIntosh. And the Grizzlies will try and make this a 2-possession game here again to get back into it. McIntosh is stripped, though. Alex Petronas. His lane is closed. He'll feed Khalid Ishmael for 3. No good. And it's pulled down by Odzenma. Grizzlies will look to slow it down just a bit here. Collect themselves and play some smart basketball. Play the kind of ball that got them into this tournament in the first place. Van Essen, no foul call there. Didn't argue it, though, so it looks like it was a clean block. Cador feeds Ishmael off the glass. Good for 2. Damian Wilson streaks down the line there for Georgian. Van Essen looking for the tray. It's no good. Van Essen, the leading scorer for the Georgian Grizzlies, uncharacteristically shut out on the scoreboard so far here in the first quarter. He's averaging 18 points per game entering today's contest. Shot clock down to 3. Ishmael trying to get around Edwards. They're going to say he walked. It is Georgian ball. As Cy Samuels will re-enter the game for Humber. Malcolm Liddell back in for Georgian. William Hausman has entered the game as well for Georgian. He wears number 24. Liddell bringing it to half court for Georgian. Edwards. Wilson has it now, decides to shoot the 3. It's off. Samuels gets the rebound, and back come the Humber Hawks. Off the glass, fouled hard. is Daquan Cathcart. Thought there might be a bit of a tussle over at the baseline. Cooler heads have prevailed, but Damian Wilson is limping heavily here, as him and Cathcart got tangled up at the baseline. And Wilson immediately pointing to his right leg. And the free throw from Cathcart is good. 25-12, Humber Hawks lead the Georgian Grizzlies. Little over a minute to go here in this quarterfinal matchup of the OCAA Basketball Championships here at the Athletics and Fitness Complex at Lambton College. Blocked from behind is Cavante Anderson. And Cy Samuels will look to drive. No, he feeds Ishmael in the paint. He's stripped. Ishmael able to get it back, though. And some excellent ball movement from Humber. Can't finish, though, was Ishmael, but there was Petronas with the putback. Jacob Edwards handing it off to William Hausman. Hausman back over to Odzenma. Odzenma from long range, yes! Much needed triple for the Georgian Grizzlies here as the shot clock is off. We're down to about 12 seconds here in the opening frame. Humber is going to hang on for last possession. Down to 3. Ishmael trying to dance around the defender. Can't do it, but the pull-up jumper good for 2. And Humber ending the first quarter with all of the momentum, 29-15. The Humber Hawks lead the Georgian Grizzlies here in this quarterfinal matchup. You are watching the OCAA Basketball Championships hosted here at the Athletics and Fitness Complex at Lambton College. We certainly thank you for joining us this afternoon here on your TV and at OCAA.com as well. Full schedule of games here at the Athletics and Fitness Complex today. This is the first of 4 quarterfinal matchups we bring you. Second one is the St. Clair Saints taking on the Seneca Sting. That one coming up at about 3 o'clock this afternoon. Later on tonight, the primetime game, 6 o'clock. It'll be the Redeemer Royals and the Sheridan Bruins in a Western Conference showdown for a spot in the semifinals. And then, of course, at 8 o'clock, it is the host Lambton Lions taking on the beast from the east, the George Brown Huskies, who won the East Division with a 17-3 record. And the Lambton Lions will enter tonight's contest with the longest active winning streak in the entire province, 7 consecutive games. And some very impressive wins in that stretch, defeating Sheridan, Humber, St. Clair. And we'll look to continue that against the top-seeded team in the tournament, the George Brown Huskies. Later on tonight, tip-off just after 8 o'clock this evening. Georgian Grizzlies enter this one 12-8 in the Eastern Conference. That was good enough for the 4th best record. They won their crossover game, convincing 10-point win against the Mohawk Mountaineers this past Saturday, February 29th. And the Humber Hawks had no problem dispatching St. Lawrence. It was 119-71, a Humber victory in their crossover game last weekend. And Georgian doesn't get off to the start they needed. It's turned over, but they are able to maintain or get the ball back. Oh, perhaps not. They are going to say it was a foul. Thought Samuels might have stepped on the line, but instead they call Edwards for the foul. Edwards is going to sit down for the moment to cool off at a few choice words in regards to the call. Frustration starting to set in a little bit here for the Georgian Grizzlies. Visible frustration, but still plenty of basketball to be played. Pass goes over the head of Samuels, out of bounds. And they are going to say Georgian ball. Cy Samuels saying it was tipped by one of the Grizzlies. And the Humber coaching staff saying to the players on the court, don't worry about it, it's over. Move on, you got a 14-point lead and just get back on defense. And off the top of the backboard is Malcolm Liddell. And back in possession for Humber. Cy Samuels, while dribbling up the court, still has some words for the official. Laria, 3. It's off. And able to maintain possession is the Humber Hawks. Laria is going to try again and float one in. It's off the mark as well. Pulled down by Odzedma, and back come the Georgian Grizzlies. Odzedma. And from long range, that is number 12, Cavante Anderson, who can't finish it out with pass now to Laria off the glass for 2. Laria's got a few words for Anderson. Odzedma trying to quarterback the play, get his guys into position. Going up and under is Cavante Anderson, but he can't finish. And streaking is Keith Laria. Fouled on the shot, he's going to shoot 2. Number 3, Fauzi Mohammed has re-entered the game for the Humber Hawks. As Keith Laria, 10 points per game this season, about 5 rebounds as well. This is the first free throw. Get some reassurance from his teammates, though. Laria, 6 points. And he's up to 7 with that successful shot. 32-15. Humber Hawks lead the Georgian Grizzlies. 8:14 remaining here in the first half. Samuel Odzedma. Odzedma pulls up 3. It's off. Trying to do anything to get his team back into it. Samuels to Jalen Morgan. Fakes, drives, hits the floor hard. Jalen Morgan shrugging at the referee, saying there should have been a foul. And Morgan still on the floor, helped up by teammate Cy Samuels. Samuels talking to the official, looking for an explanation as to why the ball is back in possession of the Georgian Grizzlies. He is going to remain on the court, though. Williams McIntosh inbounds to Liddell. Liddell's going to bring it to half court for Georgian. Odzedma to Williams McIntosh in the corner, rattles in for 3. And Nick Williams McIntosh, 39% from 3 on the season. As Laria finds his way into the paint for another two-handed slam. Laria now up to 9 points for Humber here in the first half. Williams McIntosh rattles out. Samuels looking for some help there, gets it out to Francis. And Francis goes off the glass, a little too much on it. It's pulled down by Van Essen. Here come the Grizzlies. McIntosh can't float it in, but there's Liddell for the putback. Malcolm Liddell with his first bit of offense here today. Coming into this one with 8 points per game, the 6'2" rookie out of Brampton. Francis trying to work his way around the defender, just can't get it opening though. Samuels brings it to the free throw line, loses it. But there's the all-star Jalen Morgan. Can't finish it though, and here come the Grizzlies. Liddell. His lane was closed by Francis. Francis does get called for the foul, though. And a quick timeout is taken here, 6:26 to go. Here in the second quarter, it is 34-20. The Humber Hawks lead the Georgian Grizzlies here in this first quarterfinal matchup of the OCAA Basketball Championships. And we certainly thank you for joining us here this afternoon at OCAA.com and on your TV. Again, later on today, tip-off just after 3 o'clock this afternoon, the Seneca Sting will take on the St. Clair Saints. 6 o'clock, the Sheridan Bruins versus the Redeemer Royals, and then at 8 o'clock tonight, the host Lambton Lions take on the George Brown Huskies in one of the more anticipated matchups here today. The Lambton Lions, longest active winning streak in the OCAA, 7 consecutive games, and of course the George Brown Huskies, the East Division champions and the top seed in this tournament coming into this one. Keith Laria leading the way for the Humber Hawks. He has 9 points, as does Sammy Odesma for the Georgian Grizzlies. Liddell looking for some help. Cross-court pass to Williams McIntosh from long range. No, pulled down by Morgan. Jalen Morgan to Kevin Otu. Otu in the corner. It's Daquan Cathcart. No good. And back come the Grizzlies again in transition. Quick, it's Liddell. Kicked back out to McIntosh. The three is short. And Jalen Morgan will slow it down here for the Humber Hawks. Cy Samuels has it. Hand off to Cathcart. Back to Kevin Otu. Fauzi Mohammed was thinking three from about 6 or 8 feet from beyond the line. Decided not to do it though. Cathcart feeds Samuels. Shot clock is worn down to 0, and the Georgian Grizzlies get the ball back. Successful defensive stop by Georgian. Damon Green now in the game for the Grizzlies, and they're going to say Damian Wilson walked. Coaching staff offering Wilson some reassurance from the bench. Halfway through the second quarter here, 34-20. Humber Hawks lead the Georgian Grizzlies. Jalen Morgan spins, passes almost picked off. Mohammed, step back, no. And Green able to get his hands on it for the Georgian Grizzlies. To Van Essen, back to Green. Cross court to Malcolm Liddell. Liddell drives. Tries to go over 2 defenders, can't do it though. Samuels gets the rebound. There's the picked pass though by Damian Wilson. Wilson looking for 3, no. Morgan to Fauzi Mohammed. Mohammed wasn't called for the travel. I guess he released it before his feet touched the ground again. Otu can't finish the layup. And outlet pass now to Damian Wilson. To Odzenma. Odzenma backing his way in on Cathcart. Green fakes the 3 to a wide open Malcolm Liddell. He's going to step in and float. No good. Cy Samuels gets the rebound for Humber. Cross court to Jalen Morgan. Now to Cathcart. Back it in on Damon Green. Got an elbow in the face of Green. But Cathcart gets the call, and he's going to shoot 2. Sure, Green not appreciating that sequence, taking an elbow in the face and getting called for the foul. As Daquan Cathcart, 13 points per game this year for the Humber Hawks. Shooting 2. One of 6 players for the Humber Hawks who averaged double digits this year. And Cathcart goes 2 for 2. And some fresh legs will come on for Humber here. Alex Petronas back in the game. Ishmael in as well. He wears number 23. Liddell has it now near half court. Trying to get around Petronas. He'll look to drive. And a foul on Petronas. Gets called for the push. Will remain Grizzlies ball here. 3:51 to go. It's a 16-point deficit right now for Georgian. Van Nessen over to Jacob Edwards. To McIntosh now to Odzemba. Odzemba back out to a wide open. Van Nessen gets it opening, no good. There's Williams McIntosh trying to find a teammate. The pass is tipped and back in the hands of Cy Samuels for the Humber Hawks. Cathcart to an open Kevin O'Toole. And that one rattles in. Williams McIntosh has it now for the Grizzlies. Cross court to Liddell. Liddell backing his way in on Petronas. Tyler Van Nessen has it now. Turnaround jumper. It is well short. Kevin O'Toole leans into the 3, gets his own rebound. Impressive sequence from O'Toole. And the pass tipped out of bounds by Cy Samuels. As Cavante Anderson is going to enter the game here for Georgian. Humber now doubling up the Georgian Grizzlies 41-20. 2:47 to go here in the second quarter. In this first matchup of the OCAA Basketball Championship quarterfinals. Anderson looks to drive. That's off the mark. Trying to collect the loose ball. Jump ball and possession arrow is in favor of Humber. And Humber is going to use their timeout. 60 seconds we'll take here. Imagine the talk here, just to be, we'll give the guys a little bit of rest. And as this game goes on, perhaps get some of the subs an opportunity to play in what's been an important playoff match for them here. 41-20. Doubling up the Georgian Grizzlies right now with about 2 minutes to go here in the first half. And the talk over at the Georgian Grizzlies sideline just to try and get anything going, and the Humber Hawks have just done a tremendous job of isolating the first team All-Star. Tyler Van Nessen for the Georgian Grizzlies averages about 18 points, 9 rebounds, almost 2 steals per game, and he has been shut out on the scoreboard here in the first half. Very uncharacteristic, but that was the plan of attack going in for the Humber Hawks, I'm sure. And Humber just so well-rounded offensively. Like we mentioned, 6 players averaging double digits on the season. Not something you see very often in the OCAA. By comparison, the Georgian Grizzlies with 3 players averaging double digits. As we get back at it here, Alex Petronas is going to bring it to half court for Humber. Daquan Cathcart to Dwayne Lambert-Cador. Back to Cathcart. To Cador in the corner, he'll bring it out. To Ishmael, hands off to Laria. Shot clock down to 7. He hits from long range. Make it a dozen in the first half for Keith Laria. Williams-McIntosh looking for some options here for Georgian. Laria sticking to him like glue, though. Odzedma trying to get an opening. McIntosh from long range, no good. But there is Cavante Anderson fighting hard for those 2 points. Ishmael has it now for Humber. So Laria. And picked off in the paint was the intended pass for Cathcart. And back going the other way is the Grizzlies. No foul. Williams-McIntosh trying to get the call there. Doesn't get it, though. Tyler Van Essen has it. He's got it back over to Williams-McIntosh. That's Cavante Anderson for 3. No. And it's just been that kind of game for the Georgian Grizzlies here in the first half. Ishmael leans in off the glass, 2. Odzedma looks to go off the glass. And he at least gets the call. He's going to shoot 2. Odzedma leading the way for the Georgian Grizzlies. 9 points for number 9 here in the first half. First free throw is good. And Odzedma goes 2 for 2 from the line. That'll bring him up to 11 points. Leading the way for the Georgian Grizzlies here. 45 seconds to go here in the first half. Van Essen with the steal. Fighting to get it to any open teammate. Odzedma there to rescue him. And Cavante Anderson. I think Humber was looking for a traveling call there. They didn't get it. Good recovery from Cavante Anderson. But a 7-second difference here between the shot clock and the game clock. Cross court to Ishmael to a wide open Alex Petronis. And the shot is well short here. Shot clock, game clock down to 10. Shot clock is off. Edwards fights for 2. And Petronis leading into the buzzer beater, though well short, but Humber not too worried right now. They're going to go into the locker room at halftime with an 18-point lead, 46-28. The Humber Hawks lead the Georgian Grizzlies here at OCAA men's basketball action. Back in a moment, right here on your TV. Okay.
Do you normally appear on camera or just do one voiceover?
No. Yeah, it's usually just voiceover, but
All right, that's fine.
yeah, maybe later on I can. I don't know.
Lift the hair up a little bit.
Oh, whatever. Leave the headset on anyway. Don't matter.
Good, that's good.
What hair?
So the next game is
Seneca St. Clair.
time in 1 minute. Seneca St. Clair series.
Yep. Just tap me when we're on. Thanks. And at the half, it is the Humber Hawks leading the Georgian Grizzlies 46-28 here in this first quarterfinal matchup of the OCAA Basketball Championships here at the Athletics and Fitness Complex at Lambton College. I'm Tony Frangus. Thank you for joining us this afternoon here on your TV and at OCAA.com as well. This one, the first of four quarterfinal matchups here. We'll get to our leading scorers here. Keith Laurie, a former Lambton Lion, transferred to the Humber Hawks here, leads all scorers in this contest with 12 points. And for the Georgian Grizzlies, it is Samuel Zenma. He has 11 points so far in this one. Like I mentioned, this is the first of four quarterfinal matchups today. Coming up at 3 o'clock this afternoon here at the Athletics and Fitness Complex, it is the Seneca Sting taking on the St. Clair Saints in a cross-conference tilt. Also later on tonight, 6 o'clock, it is the Sheridan Bruins versus the Redeemer Royals in a Western Conference showdown. And arguably the most anticipated match of the day is the primetime game, 8 o'clock tonight, right here at the Athletics and Fitness Complex. It is the host, Lambton Lions, taking on the beast from the East, the George Brown Huskies, the East Division champions and the number one ranked team in the OCAA, taking on the host, Lambton Lions, who come into this one with the longest active winning streak in the entire province. 7 consecutive games. They haven't lost in over a month, but the toughest test of all for them coming up later on tonight at 8 o'clock. But first things first, we get to this one at the half here. It is the Humber Hawks, the West Division champions, 15-5. They lead the 12-8 Georgian Grizzlies by a score of 46-28. Second half action coming up in just a few moments' time here at the OCAA Men's Basketball Championships here on your TV and OCAA.com.
We're thrilled to be this year's presenting sponsor for the OCAA Men's Basketball Championship. On behalf of everyone at Kelgore, welcome to Championship Weekend. Go Lambton!
Hi, I'm Rob Cardis, Vice President of Academic and Student Success at Lambton College.
And I'm Curtis Gray, Director of Student Services.
We owe a huge debt of gratitude to the sponsors of the OCAA Men's Basketball Championship.
This weekend would not be possible without you. We thank you for your generosity and support.
Let's go Lions.
46-28, the Humber Hawks lead the Georgian Grizzlies at halftime. We'll go now to courtside reporter making his courtside reporting debut. It's Tyler Bennett.
All right, Tyler Bennett here courtside with Georgian head coach Matt Colson. Matt, bit of a slow start there. What was kind of the message in the locker room to try and get the guys to regroup and come out strong in the second?
To not try and bring it back with one play, to chip away, play more our style of defense. We didn't really defend like we have all year. Get back to playing our kind of basketball and not try to do it with one play.
Tyler Van Essen, bit of a slow first half there. What do you guys got to do to get him going here in the second half to try and get back into it?
Get him some touches in better spots, and he's got to get a little more aggressive as well.
All right, best of luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Tony?
Thank you very much, Tyler. 3:38 to go here before the second half gets underway. 46-28, like we mentioned, the Humber Hawks leading the Georgian Grizzlies. Humber showing why they are the West Division champions of this one so far. They finished first in the OCAA Western Division, 15-5 record. Georgian Grizzlies coming into this one fourth in the OCAA Eastern Conference with a 12-8 record. They won their crossover game last week against the Mohawk Mountaineers, hosted them an 88-78 victory there. Meanwhile, the Humber Hawks coming in with one of the more convincing crossover game victories we've seen in recent memory, a 119-71 victory against St. Lawrence at home for the Humber Hawks here. Leading the way, all scorers, Keith Laria. He's got 12 for the Humber Hawks, and Samuel Odzenma for the Georgian Grizzlies leading the way for them. He's got 11. And the message, simple for the Georgian Grizzlies coming into the second half. Like Coach Colson mentioned, just try not to do it all in one play. You don't have to lean into every single three-pointer. Just chip away at the stone, so to speak. It is an 18-point deficit, but there's still 20 minutes of basketball to be played, and an 18-point lead can evaporate into nothing virtually instantly in the game of basketball. It can happen. And I'm sure for Humber, they just want to try and close it out, move on to the semifinals here, but that 20 minutes is going to feel like an eternity. As the Georgian Grizzlies coming into this one hungry, the Humber Hawks steeped in a tradition of winning. They've placed top 3 in the province in 10 of the last 11 seasons, and their winning ways go back well further than that. There was that ridiculous generation of Humber teams in the early through mid-90s who won just about every year. I believe it was a string of 7 consecutive titles. And then in the mid-2000s as well, as they won 3 in a row there towards the beginning of the decade. And like we mentioned, at least a medal of some kind in 10 of the last 11 seasons. And are 20 minutes away from getting one step closer here. 46-28, the Humber Hawks lead the Georgian Grizzlies. As we here at the Athletics and Fitness Complex get our first look at Georgian as they play in the Eastern Conference, they don't get to come here unless we're hosting a tournament of some kind. Meanwhile, the Humber Hawks very familiar with this building. The last time Humber played here, buzzer beater thriller, an 84-82 defeat at the hands of the Lambton Lions, who we're going to see a little bit later on tonight. Probably the most anticipated matchup of the day for a lot of people. In all likelihood to be the most attended one of the day, as they take on the top-seeded George Brown Huskies. Tip-off for that one scheduled just after 8 o'clock tonight. And still to come later on today at 3 p.m., it is the St. Clair Saints taking on the Seneca Sting. And then a Western Conference tilt between the Redeemer Royals and the Sheridan Bruins. That one is going to be a fun one as well. We cordially invite you to join us here. We have maybe a handful of single-day passes still available at the Athletics and Fitness Complex desk. Weekend passes sold out some time ago. And we certainly thank the community for supporting the biggest prize in OCAA basketball. Certainly the biggest event in OCAA basketball here. First time Lambton's hosted it. We certainly hope to do it again in the near future here as we're seconds away from the third quarter getting underway. Humber Hawks, Georgian Grizzlies, second half action now underway here in the OCAA Basketball Championships here on your TV and at OCAA.com. Odzenma to Liddell. Taking his time with the jumper was Odzenma. He's able to get the ball back. Williams McIntosh to Odzenma in the corner. Samuels guarding close by. He tries to shoot over Samuels, and he does. Nice work. Trey for Odzenma gets him 31. Or gets Georgian up to 31, excuse me. Odzenma up to 14 of his own and hitting the floor hard. Oh boy, you could hear it up here. It was Jalen Morgan. Quick to shake it off, though. He's going to set up at the free throw line. As Damian Wilson was called for the foul, he's still shaking his head about it. Some discussion amongst the players on the court there as to whether that should have been a foul or not. A couple of members of the Grizzlies certainly seem to think not, but Jalen Morgan nonetheless shooting two. And the first team All-Star goes 2 for 2 from the line. Jalen Morgan receiving that honor last night at the annual OCAA Awards Banquet, as did number 6 for the Georgian Grizzlies, Tyler Van Essen. And he points at the free throw line. He's setting up for a pair. Opportunity for him to get on the board, uncharacteristically shut out in this one so far. As number 9, Cy Samuels for the Humber Hawks was called for the foul. He's kind of smirking about it. As Tyler Van Essen, free throw is short. And the frustration certainly mounting for the first team All-Star. Van Essen finally on the board. It's got to feel like sweet relief for him, I'm sure. Francis, baseline out to Jalen Morgan. Morgan, his lane is closed, kicks out to Fauzi Mohammed for 3, it's off. Tip back out to Morgan. He's going to lean into the 3, and it is good. Malcolm Liddell quickly bringing it to half court for Georgian. That's number 11, Damian Wilson, calling for Van Essen. Van Essen tries to spin his way into the paint. A little too much off the glass, fighting for those 2 points. Coach Colson begging for the foul call. I don't blame him. They're going to say double dribble. I feel like neither team can buy a foul call in this one. Well, to hand it to the officiating staff for letting him play. Damian Wilson now tries to get it to Van Essen. It's tipped out of bounds by the Hawks. It will remain Grizzlies ball with 8 seconds on the shot clock. 8:06 to go here in the third quarter. Humber by 19. In the paint is Van Essen off the glass. Good for 2, up and under. Cy Samuels. Samuels hand off to Morgan. The All-Star Jalen Morgan. Back to Fauzi Mohammed. Morgan drives baseline, steps around Van Essen. And Van Essen gets the rebound, and back come the Grizzlies on the fast break. There's Wilson leading into it, spins in. And he's setting up for 1. Wilson looking to collect himself here. Second-year guard out of Brampton. And every point counting right now for the Georgian Grizzlies as they try to chip away at that deficit. They've cut it to 14. Still very much in this game. And good defense is stopped by Odzenma. Remains Humber ball, but Odzenma splitting up the play. Samuels gets it to Morgan. And another great defensive effort by the Grizzlies. 8-second violation.
Backcourt violation. Georgian ball.
As Malcolm Liddell is going to inbound it for the Grizzlies here. Well, a little bit of deliberation now amongst the officials. Over what exactly, we're not sure. We're keeping our eye on the scoreboard to see if anything changes. So far, nothing, and on we go. Liddell inbounds to Odzenma. Odzenma back up on Morgan. Feeds a streaking Damian Wilson, and he's going to set up for two. And the momentum shift has begun here. Keith Larry has entered the game, number 12 for the Humber Hawks, their leading scorer. He comes into this one with 12 points in the first half. As Damian Wilson will shoot two. And the first free throw is off the mark. He's only averaging about 4 points per game. He's already got 5 in this one, though. And the second free throw from Damian Wilson is good. Deficit cut to 13. As Fauzi Mohammed gets it to half court for Humber. Decides to pull up from very long range. No good. But there's Francis. Back to Mohammed. Don't be surprised if he shoots it from the logo. Loses possession, though. And Odzenma. Oh, good movement within the paint. Blocked from behind is Damian Wilson by Jordan Francis. And Mohammed is off the mark, and there's Van Essen getting the loose ball. And now Liddell looking to drive over Keith Laria. And Liddell will shoot two. The Grizzlies showing a little bit of ruthless aggression in the paint there, leaning into every shot, trying to get every foul call they can, which has been hard to come by in this game, although Humber now at 14 fouls, barely 3 minutes into the quarter. As unfortunately for Liddell goes 0 for 2 from the line. Can't chip into that deficit any further for now. They'll try and look for a defensive stop here as Laria. Gonna say clean dispossession. Telling you, neither team can buy a foul call right now. Oh, perhaps they spoke too soon. Morgan's going to shoot two. Sometimes the obvious fouls aren't so obvious. As Tyler Van Essen is called for the foul. First one from Morgan is good. Now it's going to put Jalen Morgan in double digits. 19 points per game, 7 rebounds, good enough to get him on the first team All-Star list for the Western Division this year. As he goes 2 for 2, the lead now back up to 15 for the Humber Hawks here, approaching the halfway mark of the third quarter. Wilson gets it to Odzenma in the corner. Odzenma tripped up. Laria gets the loose ball to a streaking Jalen Morgan, feeds Ishmael off the glass for 2. And the lead back up to 17. McIntosh across court now, and that pass is tipped. Ishmael to Laria. And here comes a timeout for the Georgian Grizzlies as all their work here so far in the third quarter has been undone, and the deficit now back to 19. as the Humber Hawks lead the Georgian Grizzlies 57-38. Here in the third quarter, it is the first of 4 quarterfinal games today. Here in the OCAA Basketball Championships here at the Athletics and Fitness Complex at Lambton College. We thank you for joining us here today on your TV and at OCAA.com. Seneca St. Clair at 3 o'clock today. Sheridan Redeemer at 6. And George Brown Lambton, 8 o'clock tip-off. And what we imagine is going to be a capacity crowd tonight. If you plan on coming to those evening games, get here early, as seating will certainly be a commodity. Leading scorers in this one, Laria for Humber, Odzenma for Georgian, both of them with 14 points. As Liddell inbounds, he gets it back. He goes back and forth with Williams McIntosh. McIntosh will bring it to half court. And there's Wilson. To Van Essen now. Van Essen pulls up for 3. It's off. Tries to get it over the hand of Cy Samuels. Easier said than done. And Kevin O'Toole has brought it to half court now for Humber. And the pass. A little too hard to Laria, and it is Georgian ball. Liddell gets it to half court here. To an open Odzenma. Just to back his way in on Morgan. They're going to say he walked, took his foot off his pivot. Back in the hands of the Humber Hawks, and visible signs of frustration from the Georgian Grizzlies as they head back on defense, and understandably so. As we're now halfway through the third quarter, 57-38. Humber Hawks with the edge. The West Division champions showing exactly why they were top dog in the West, as it remains Humber ball. Cy Samuels will inbound. Finds Kevin O'Toole in the paint, backs around, no good. Samuels can't finish it off either. They're going to say out of bounds, and it is Georgian ball. As Georgian reignited the offense early to start the third quarter, but things have kind of dried up for them a little bit, and they'll try to kick-start it again. As Wilson, trapped near half court, gets it to Van Essen. And somebody was called for a hold there, and Van Essen's going to shoot 2. Samuels was called for the foul. He'll take a seat for now. And a little too much on the first free throw from Van Essen. And Van Essen goes 1 for 2. Held to just 4 points in this one. And he normally averages about 18 points per game to go along with 9 rebounds. Received first-team All-Star honors last night, Tyler Van Essen. He wears number 6 for the Georgian Grizzlies. And fighting for the loose ball. And debatably, they're going to give it to the Georgian Grizzlies. Looked like Wilson had last touch there, but refs don't see it that way. Here comes Wilson, quickly bringing it to half court. Hands off to Odzenma. Odzenma telling Van Essen to get to the other side of the paint. And he is stripped. Quickly in transition is Kevin O'Toole. Finger roll is no good. And they're going to say loose ball. Last touched by Humber, and it is Georgian ball once again. Another successful stop by the Grizzlies. Now they just got to get something going on offense here, but the defense certainly doing its job in the last couple of sequences here. Odzenma stripped by Ishmael. And there's Laria off the glass for two more. And the lead now at 20. And Malcolm Liddell loses possession, but it does remain Georgian ball. With 3:20 to go here in the third. Williams McIntosh has it now. So Wilson now in the hands of the All-Star Van Essen. And Houseman from long range, that shot is well short. Keith Laria is going to inbound it, and Queen of the ball, there's the official, but back at it. Kevin O'Toole. Hand off to Ishmael, now over to Petronas. Petronas back to Ishmael. And the Humber Hawks firmly in the driver's seat now with 2:55 to go here in the third quarter. They lead by 20, 59-39. Keith Laria for the Humber Hawks leading all scorers as the tray is off the mark. He's got 16 as Ishmael gets it back though. And Ishmael showing some grit and getting those 2 points back. Lead now up to 22 for them. Van Essen has it in the corner. Back out to Williams McIntosh. Van Essen backing his way in on Laria, and the floater short. Van Essen gets the ball back again. He's fouled on the way. He's going to shoot this time. With an emphatic clap from Van Essen. Just looking for something to go his way. Cavante Anderson, number 12, re-enters the game for Georgian. As does Jacob Edwards, as the first free throw from Van Essen is good. Now 3 for 5 from the line in this one. Make it 3 for 6. But there's Cavante Anderson. He's fouled on the floater, and he'll set up. Perhaps the officials making up for the lack of foul calls a little bit earlier in this game. They're calling everything now. As Coyote Simmons will enter the game. Coyote Simmons will see his first action for the Georgian Grizzlies. He wears number 35, 6'6" rookie out of Brampton. Cavante Anderson. His second shot is a little short. O'Toole to Laria. Back to O'Toole. To Ishmael in the paint. Pass is picked off by Simmons, and back come the Grizzlies in transition. There's Cavante Anderson, too much on the shot. And quick to get back is Humber. Petronas across court to O'Toole, now in the hands of Ishmael, and Ishmael can't finish either. Here we go, 2-on-1 situation here. Liddell calling for it. Cavante Anderson elects to keep it. And Anderson is going to set up at the line. Cathcart and Laria Sharing a laugh there as they swap positions for now. First free throw from Anderson is no good. Second free throw is good for Anderson, and the deficit cut to 19. Minute 43 to go here in the third. And Simmons with kind of a hard foul on Cathcart. Daquan Cathcart's going to shoot two. Fourth-year guard, 6'1" from North York. Coming into this one, 13 points per game to go along with 4 boards. And the first one from Cathcart is good. As Dwayne Lambert-Cador visit the scorekeeper's table for Humber, he'll check in at next whistle. As Liddell trying to get an opening from Cathcart. Cathcart just sticking right to him, though. He gets a bit of one. Floater too much. Nice bounce pass from Petronis to get it to Ishmael. And on the fast break, gets 2. Liddell back to Anderson. Anderson goes across court to Edwards. Liddell has it now with Petronis with him. Edwards had an opening, but gets Liddell wide open. 3 is short, but there's Simmons with the putback. Coyote Simmons, the rookie, with his first bit of offense today, as Ishmael puts 2 back for Humber. Williams-McIntosh now for Georgian. To Cavante Anderson. Anderson drives, good for 2. About a 2-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock here as Ishmael gets a look back at the clock. Anderson, guarding close by for Georgian. And perhaps the shot a little rushed from Anderson. It's short. And a fairly evenly matched third quarter for these two teams, but Georgian unable to cut into the deficit. And it remains a 20-point lead for the Humber Hawks, as they lead the Georgian Grizzlies 66-46 here. But a deliberation amongst the officials. Perhaps a foul occurred. Actually, they're putting 2 seconds back on the clock. They're going to say shot clock violation. And Georgian has an opportunity for a set play. Humber doesn't like it. They're making that very obvious. But one opportunity here for Georgian to cut into the deficit. They'll try it again. No, clean block by McQuell Martin. And now at the end of the third quarter, the Humber Hawks lead the Georgian Grizzlies by a score of 66-46 here. Like we mentioned, this is the first of 4 quarterfinal games here today. Coming up later on, the Seneca Sting will take on the St. Clair Saints. That's at 3 p.m. today. And then at 6 o'clock, the Redeemer Royals and the Sheridan Bruins square off in a Western Conference showdown, a very exciting one for sure. And then, of course, at 8 o'clock, the host Lambton Lions, the hottest team in the OCAA, 7 consecutive wins, will take on the number 1 team in the OCAA, the George Brown Huskies. The top seed in the Eastern Conference got the official award last night at the OCAA Awards Banquet, and you're looking at the West division champions here, the Humber Hawks, in this one, showing exactly why they are atop the division. Right now with a 16-point lead, or 66-46 lead, 20-point lead. Pardon me as this commentator gets a little tired at the thought of calling 4 games today. But certainly thrilled to be along for the ride, and we hope you are as well. It's a fun one here, first time in modern OCAA history that the Lambton Lions have hosted the tournament here. Weekend passes selling out some time ago. We know that it is going to be, in all likelihood, a capacity crowd here tonight. So if you do plan on attending the primetime games, we suggest getting here as early as possible. Parking will certainly be a commodity as well. Plenty of parking, but if you want a good spot, you're going to have to walk a little bit. (66-46) here. Humber leading Georgian. Still plenty of basketball to be played, but Humber is certainly in the driver's seat. As the fourth quarter is now officially underway. Dwayne Lambert-Cador to Petronas. Outside, that's Cathcart from the corner. The 3 attempt is short, and the Grizzlies will look to retaliate quickly. No time to waste. Cavante Anderson drives, no good. Simmons trying to tip it back out to Liddell. Can't do it, though, and here comes Kevin Otu. And that pass is split up. So's that one. Here we go. Dwayne Lambert-Cador to Petronas. Petronas, it rolls out. No foul call, and here we go. Georgian in transition. Liddell to Anderson off the glass for 2. Dwayne Lambert-Cador to Petronas. He answers right back in the lead, back up to 20. Liddell trying to get around Lambert-Cador. To the All-Star Van Essen. In the corner, it's Cavante Anderson. The 3's off the mark. Simmons pulls down the rebound. Pass is picked off by Otu, and he is going to go in uncontested. Misses the 2-handed slam. And perhaps getting a little careless there was Otu. And back at it here, the Georgian Grizzlies. Van Essen working it around to Anderson. Anderson to Liddell. Shot clock down to 5. Liddell spins out to Van Essen for 3. No. And Alex Petronas has it again. To Lambert-Cador, back to Petronas. Gets caught up under the glass. And now back come the Grizzlies, and uncontested, there is Liddell with the one-handed slam, trying to ignite the offense here. Dwayne Lambert-Cador to Cathcart, to Petronas, blocked from behind. Official doesn't see it that way, it's a foul. And Alex Petronas will shoot 2 for Humber. As Damon Green will re-enter the game here for Georgian. First one from Petronas is good. Petronas quick to fire the second one. He goes 2 for 2. And Liddell dispossessed to Lambert-Cador, and there is Petronas getting another 2 points. And the result of this one starting to look More and more like the Humber Hawks are going to make a trip to the semifinals once again. Georgian still fighting though. Ozenma leading into it, no good. And back come the Humber Hawks. Jalen Morgan from long range. Lead now at 25. It is 75-50 as Morgan gets in front of that pass to Ozenma. Lead now up to 25 for the Humber Hawks. 6:56 to go here in the fourth quarter. In this OCAA Basketball Championship quarterfinal matchup. The first of 4 today. Liddell to Green. The 3 from Green, no good. Petronas feeds Francis to Cathcart. Mishandles the one-handed slam. And now Ozenma. They're going to say he walked. No, it's going the other way. Or pardon me, offensive foul rather. Thought he might have got called for the travel. Knocked over Petronas, and it is Humber Hawks ball with 6:29 remaining. Keith Laria visiting the scorekeeper's table for Humber. He's going to check in at next whistle, leading all scorers in this one. He's got 16 as Jordan Francis goes off the glass for 2. Up to 4 points now, Jordan Francis. Working it around to Green in the corner. Now back out to Williams McIntosh. To Green, fakes 3. Shot clock down to 7. Liddell works it to Williams McIntosh, and it is good for 3. The fifth-year guard from Newmarket, shooting almost 40% from 3 on the season, has struggled a little bit this afternoon, but he gets one there. Morgan fighting for it, gets 2 back. Georgian still playing with some urgency, still playing with a little bit of fire here as Ozenma from the corner, yes. Cathcart drives, and he gets 2 more. Williams McIntosh to Van Essen at half court. To Ozenma in the corner. 3 is off the mark. Dwayne Lambert-Cador leans into 3, no good. Now Van Essen looks to drive over Jalen Morgan. Wait and see where the foul is. And a quick timeout is called. 81-56, the Humber Hawks lead the Georgian Grizzlies with 4:49 remaining here in the fourth. And the result of this one, a virtual certainty at this point, but Georgian will still have a thing or two to say about it once we get back into it. And it's been kind of a tale of 2 stories here for the first team All-Stars in this one. Jalen Morgan, 16 points for the Humber Hawks. Meanwhile, Tyler Van Essen for the Georgian Grizzlies, uncharacteristic, has been held to just 6. Leading all scorers, though, for the Georgian Grizzlies is Sammy Ozenma. He has 17. Williams McIntosh in double digits as well. He has 10 as the players take the court here. Williams McIntosh is going to inbound to Ozenma. Anderson working it around to Wilson. Now back to Williams McIntosh to Van Essen. Van Essen pulls up. Hands off to Ozenma. Ozenma long range. It's the wiring up above, and it is Humber ball. Cy Samuels is going to bring it to half court for Humber. Van Essen meets him there. Now to Jordan Francis, to Keith Laria. Laria tries to spin over Anderson. Shot is off, and here come the Grizzlies quick. Layup no good for Anderson, and here comes Humber again, not taking their foot off the gas. Francis stepped out of bounds. It is Georgian ball. Ozenma to Van Essen. Williams McIntosh. He'll inbound. Now in the hands of Cavante Anderson. Anderson and Cathcart fighting for it, and the possession arrow. In favor of the Grizzlies, it will remain Georgian ball as they bring out the mop. After a bit of a tussle on the floor there, but cooler heads have prevailed. It will remain Georgian ball. 3:47 to go. Damian Wilson with the shot clock down to 3. Van Essen is going to have to fire quick. No good. There's Cavante Anderson kicking it back out to Williams McIntosh. The 3 is short, but there is Ozenma. Can't finish either. And that just a microcosm of the entire game for the Georgian Grizzlies. Just can't get anything going. Tough to do against the Humber Hawks. As Williams McIntosh, the long ranger, is off. Deficit now at 27. Laria for 3. 86-56 now. The Humber Hawks lead the Georgian Grizzlies. And Laria getting in the way of the pass. Georgian able to maintain possession, though they work it around to Ozenma. Ozenma tries to get around Jalen Morgan. He does. The 2 is off the mark, though. And the pass is picked, and here come the Grizzlies again. Not giving up. And off the glass, there is Damian Wilson for 2. Off the glass is Jalen Morgan. And some fresh legs will come on for both sides here for Georgian. It will be number 14, Matthew Andrews, and Scott Smith, number 34. And timeout is called here with 2:19 to go. A 28-point lead for the Humber Hawks. And not to assume anything with over 2 minutes to go in the game here, but it is going to take darn near miracle for the Georgian Grizzlies to tie this one up. Well, the way things have gone today, unfortunately, the shots just aren't falling for them. The calls haven't gone their way. Did a little bit in the third quarter. You started to see the deficit close, almost brought it down to single digits, and then the Humber Hawks, the defense picked up a little bit, and now the Georgian Grizzlies facing a 28-point deficit and less than 3 minutes to carve into it. So barring any unforeseen circumstances, our first semifinalist will be the Humber Hawks. Here at the OCAA Basketball Championship quarterfinal matchup here at the Athletics and Fitness Complex here at Lambton College. We certainly thank you for joining us this afternoon on your TV and at OCAA.com as Dwayne Lambert-Cador will inbound for Humber. He gets it to Khalid Ishmael. Ishmael in Noel Bailey's hands now. Shot clock down to 3. Ishmael's going to have to fire immediately. He does. Shot misses though, but fighting for it is Justice Salmon. Kevonte Anderson across now to Matthew Andrews. Pass almost split up. In the corner is Van Essen. Had an opening. Strafes to the left and handed to Matthew Andrews for hanging on to that ball. Hits the floor hard. Seems to be okay though. He's nodding his head saying he's fine. He's going to stay in the game. 30-point lead now for the Humber Hawks with 1:38 remaining. And from the corner was Williams McIntosh, no good. Humber going to cross court now and really just not taking their foot off the gas. Justice for 3, no good. And here comes Andrews now for the Grizzlies. Foot caught the baseline. It is Humber ball with 1:13 remaining. Khalid Ishmael is going to bring it to half court now for Humber. What a game Ishmael has had with 14 points off the bench. 3 no good. As Williams McIntosh just tries to get anything going, just trying to salvage the day really here with about 45 seconds to go. The result of this one no longer in doubt. Lambert Cador fighting for it. As Khalid Adam, number 10, he is going to shoot. As Scott Smith was called for the foul there for Georgian. First one from Adam is no good. Nonetheless, 88-58, the Humber Hawks lead the Georgian Grizzlies here. 41 seconds to go. As Smith gets the rebound. And here we go with the Grizzlies one more time. Kevonte Anderson fighting for it down low. He goes off the glass for 2. Khalid Adam clutching his face there. Might have taken a bump on the nose. Took a brief seat over the VIP seating, and it looks like he's going to go in for repairs. As Cy Samuels will re-enter the game. And once again, just taking care of the court here, and like we mentioned, the result of this one really no longer in doubt with 30 seconds remaining. 88-60, the Humber Hawks lead the Georgian Grizzlies. What was looking like a close contest for a while there, especially in the third quarter, and then Humber just started to run away with it, and here we are now. Shot clock will be off after this attempt here from Dwayne Lambert Cador. And the Grizzlies will bring it down one more time. Anderson, one last three-point attempt. No good. And Dwayne Lambert Cador is going to hang on to it, and your first semifinalist. Your first semifinalist in the OCAA Basketball Championships will be the Humber Hawks. 88-60. They take this one over the Georgian Grizzlies. That's the first of 4 games today, coming up in about 20 minutes' time. It will be the Seneca Sting taking on the St. Clair Saints in your second of 4 quarterfinal matchups here at the OCAA Basketball Championships at the Athletics and Fitness Complex here at Lambton College, right here on your TV and at OCAA.com. Thank you for joining us this afternoon as we continue to bring you tournament action throughout the weekend.